Hey there, this is Andrew bringing you another Keyforge deck reveal and review. I'm just going to do one deck in this video, but this is a two-player starter, which I've opened on a video before, so I'm not going to do the whole thing. This was on, I guess, clearance, definitely sale at Target, and I know some people don't like to see people buying from Target. I totally get that, and I do like to support my local store in a variety of ways, but including by buying stuff from them. But this is a really good deal, and my plan, here's those tokens, is, I'm opening these decks, and then I'm going to go. I'm going to take a couple of my mediocre decks that are pretty closely matched and throw them in the box and give it away to a coworker. So that way I am making sure it gets into the hands of a potential new player, promoting the game that way. I get, it ends up being like $3.50 a deck. So that's pretty crazy. I get to burn through some decks, but I also get to promote the game a little bit, and and hopefully some of those people convert to players that are showing up to LGS and other stuff. So anyway, that's the plan. We'll see how it works out. So yeah, this is going to be a Worlds Collide deck, of course, as you can see. And let me see if I can slip it out without myself looking at the houses here. Okay, there we go. So this is Ken, Dark Hell Ringleader. Well, Dark Hell makes me think it's going to be Dees. Ringleader makes me think maybe Shadows. And Ken, who knows? I'm going to say Logos. I'm going to say Dees, Shadows, Logos, which in Coda is like the trifecta. Oh, I didn't get any of them right, of course. That's amazing. Okay, so this is Star Alliance, Brobnar, and Untamed. And not any of the three houses that I guessed. It is difficult to be so wrong. And the thing, I think my typical hit rate on guessing based on the name is something like I'll get one house. That's very typical for me, is to get one house right. But that's not good. That's not very impressive at all. I think flipping a coin I could do better. All right. Okay, Brobnar. We have Alaka. This I was explaining in the last video I recorded. Alaka's great because she lets you do Brobnar things on the turn that you play, which I think is something that's been missing is less of in Worlds Collide Brobnar. So anytime I see these do stuff now effects, I'm happy. So she's a 4-power giant and says if you have used a creature to fight this turn, Alaka enters play ready. We have a Ganger Chieftain, more do stuff right now. 5-power giant with you may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. We have a Warrior's Refrain, which is an action with a bonus aember that stuns each creature with power 3 or lower. That's funny, all three of these cards were in the last deck I did, but they were, Warrior's Refrain was pretty deep in because I had so many creatures, so we'll see how this turns out. Fire Breath is an upgrade with a bonus aember, gives a creature +3 power, and before fight deal 2 damage to each neighbor of the creature this creature fights. I like to see that. We have 2 of those, that's nice. They do stack, so if you put them both on the same creature, you're going to have a +6 power creature that deals 2 damage to each neighbor of the creature it fights. I don't know how these stack. In other words, I think intuitively I would say that you trigger one effect and then the other. So if you're let's say you're fighting a creature and it has 2 daughters on each side of it, I think, I would think that you would kill all 4 of them, right? Because you would deal 2 to each neighbor, they would die, the others would come in, and then you would do 2 to them. But I actually suspect that the way it would be ruled is that it's all dealt simultaneously, so you would just deal 4 damage to each neighbor. That is how Hazardous and Assault work. Hazardous and Assault just stack. So 2 instances of Hazardous 3 is just a Hazardous 6. It's not 2 separate Hazardous 3s. But that's a good question for judges. And I don't know the answer. Okay, Gargantu's Scrapper is a 3-power giant with alpha. So you have to play it first thing on your turn. And when you play it, if you have 3 or more amber, you deal 3 damage to an enemy creature. It's okay if it can fire off, although then you just have a 3-power creature. It's not amazing, but you know, we'll see. Gravel Guts is a 5-power giant. This is after an enemy creature is destroyed fighting it, you give it 2+1 power counters, so it can grow and grow. 5 is a little low to start with. Maybe throwing a Fire Breath on it early would do a lot of good for it. Oh, we have a little Rapskull. This is a 2-power goblin with elusive, and it says creatures must fight when used if able. Yeah, that can be annoying, although, you know, if we get Fire Breaths on the right things, it might be good. Then we have Ogopogo, a 6-power giant that says after it attacks and destroys a creature, you may deal 2 damage to a creature. Again, great thing to put Fire Breath on. Ooh, we have Igon, who is terrible. The upgrade is aptly named, but still cool. Igon the Green is a 4-power giant with destroyed, purge Igon the Green, return an Igon the Terrible from your discard pile to your hand. So when this gets destroyed, you purge it, and then you pull Igon the Terrible out of your discard pile to your hand. Now, because of do as much as you can, if it's not in your discard pile, you just purge Igon the Green, and that's fine. Anyway, Igon the Terrible will come up soon. That's a special that comes with Igon the Green, who's a rare. The Floor is Lava is an artifact with a bonus amber that says at the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to a friendly creature and 1 damage to an enemy creature. This is great for plinking wards. And actually, I think this might work okay with the little Rapskull. You plink 1 damage on the little Rapskull early, and then at some future turn, if you're like, okay, I actually want to have a turn where I reap out, you just finish off the little Rapskull, even on like a Star Alliance or Untamed turn, and then you can do all your reaping stuff. So that could be pretty good. And then here's Igon the Terrible. It's an 8-power giant. When you play Igon the Terrible, if Igon the Green has not been purged, you destroy Igon the Terrible. So, in other words, the way it works is if Igon the Green has to be purged. So you have to get Igon the Green on the board and get him destroyed in order to be able to play Igon the Terrible. So that's kind of interesting. And then when Igon the Terrible fights, you steal 1 amber. So that's cool if you can do it. I don't know. It's a lot to pull off. It's a 2-card combo, which is already iffy. And then it's slow unless you have the Ganger Chieftain in your hand. So I just think it adds up to not great. But sometimes I'm wrong. Okay, Star Alliance. We have Chief Engineer Walls. That's a 2-power human with elusive. And Play Fight Reap, you may return an upgrade or robot card from your discard pile to your hand. That's cool because we have the Fire Breath, so wouldn't mind that. Cloaking Dongle, another upgrade. It's an upgrade with a bonus amber that gives this creature and each of its neighbors elusive. Oh, that could be really annoying with the little Rapskull because now they're going to have to do even more work to fight stuff. Wouldn't mind having something taunty to put the little Rapskull next to even. Calm Officer Kirby is a 3-power human with Play Fight Reap. You may play a non-Star Alliance artifact upgrade or action card this turn. That is pretty good with the walls and the Fire Breath because it means we can like return a Fire Breath and play it on the same turn if we have both walls and Kirby. We have Lieutenant Karkar, who's a 5-power alien in Hand-to-Hand with Taunt and Hazardous 3. So there's my Taunt. Okay. With 2 of those. All right. 3 of those. Okay. Wow. I mean, this is good with the Brobnar, right? Because we're getting more board control. Yeah. And again, I'm really happy if I can protect the little Rapskull and make it so that my board control is controlling my opponent, actually. We have Light of the Archons. That's an upgrade with a bonus amber that gives a creature +1 power and +1 armor for each upgrade attached to it. We have 3 other upgrades, so this is good. Lay of the Land is an action with a bonus amber. It says look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back in any order. Draw a card. Alright, that's fine. Nurse Soto is a 3-power human with Deploy and Play Fight Reap. Heal 3 damage from each of Nurse Soto's neighbors. That's good for maybe healing up your Karkars, your Brobnar creatures. Yeah, interesting stuff. Stunner is an upgrade with a bonus aember, another upgrade here, and it gives a creature Fight Reap. You may stun a creature. It's nice that it's may, because that means if your opponent doesn't have anything on the board, you don't have to stun your own creature. But yeah, this is even more like control, turning board control into not letting the opponent do stuff. We have Captain Val Jericho, a 5-power human leader, who says during your turn, if Captain Val Jericho is in the center, that's the leader mechanic, is in the center of your battle line, you may play 1 card that is not of the active house. Oh, so good if we can get her in the middle and keep her there. I really want to protect her with those Karkars if I can get her out. Oh, that's great. Okay. Oh my gosh, 2 Vals. I like this deck. So, Val is one of a few leaders, so not all leaders are good to have 2 of. I mean, obviously, 2 of means you're going to get to it earlier, you're going to have a better chance of getting it in the middle, but if you have Zenzis and you put them next to each other, only one of them can be in the center of the battle line, right? Because you have to have an odd number of creatures for there to be a center. So if you have 5 creatures, only 1 Zenzi can be in the middle. If you have 4 creatures, neither Zenzi's in the middle. So anyway, only 1 Zenzi can be in the middle, so you can only increase your hand by 2, your hand size by 2. Val, though, is different, because if you have a Val in the middle, then you play an off-house creature like this. Actually, so let's say we have this Val in the middle. So I play an off-house creature. And then I play an in-house creature. Now, so this Val was in the center, but now this Val's in the center. So now I can play another off-house card. Right? So you can manipulate your Vals, you can move the Vals around and get extra value, potentially. And plus, it's such a good card for burning through your deck. I'm really happy about this. Sorry, I'm gushing a little bit, but Val's great. I'm happy to see 2. Okay. I have one other deck with 2 Vals, and it's very fun. Yeah, okay. So let's go to Untamed. We have a Harmonia. That's a 2-power human witch with elusive. It says after you play a creature, if there are more enemy creatures... Oh, sorry, just back to the Val. The other thing that's great about the Val is Kirby. You can, Kirby lets you play a non-Star Alliance card, right? But Val just lets you play something that's not of the active house. So if you, let's say you use Kirby on your Brobnar turn somehow, then you get to play a non-Star Alliance card, which the only way that helps you is if you have an Untamed action, right, in this deck. But Val just says anything that's not of the active house. So on our Brobnar turn, if we can get Val in the center, we can play a Star Alliance card or an Untamed card. Alright, so yeah, Harmonia, 2-power human witch with elusive. After you play a creature, if there are more enemy creatures than friendly creatures in play, that's probably not going to be the case much with this deck. You gain an Amber. We have a key charge, that's cool. It's an action. When you play it, you lose an Amber. If you do, you may forge a key at current cost. Fun fact, we have 3 ways to be able to use this on a Star Alliance turn, and 2 ways with the Vals that we might be able to use this on a Brobnar turn. So lots of potential there. I think I might like to see some Ghost Hawks in here, although the only really... Yeah, we didn't have a lot of Reap effects, but I still wouldn't mind seeing some Ghost Hawks. We have a Rustgnawer. Ooh, that's really nice with the Brobnar. It's a 4-power beast insect with Fight. Destroy an artifact. If that artifact had an Amber bonus, you gain that much Amber. The only artifact I think we have is the Floor is Lava, and it does have an Amber bonus. So, but that does mean that if you like having the Floor is Lava out, and you have your Rustgnawer, and there's no other artifacts, you need to not fight with the Rustgnawer, or only fight if you can have it die. By the way, one upgrade I would love to get in this deck is Instrument of Silence. That'd be so good with the way the Star Alliance and Brobnar are. Ooh, that'd be great. Okay. Tantadlin is a 9-power tree that only does 2 damage when fighting, but after it fights, you discard a random card from your opponent's archives. And by the way, importantly, that only deals 2 damage with fighting. It's not like a -7 from its power, right? So if you put the Fire Breath on it, it'll deal the damage before fighting, but it'll still only do 2 damage when it fights. Unnatural Selection, that's going to be iffy because we have a lot of board state. It's an action with a bonus aember, and when you play it, you choose 3 friendly creatures and 3 enemy creatures. You destroy each other creature. So, very iffy. I hope I only have 1. I have 2. I'm not happy about having 2. Let's hope there's no... Okay, not 3. It's iffy. Just, again, we probably are controlling the board. It's probably going to get discarded. No, maybe not, but very likely. Of course, it usually... If it's close, like if we have 4 creatures, it's probably worth playing, and we can just manipulate things so that we benefit. Unsuspecting Prey is an action that deals 2 damage to up to 3 undamaged creatures. That's good. Our only real, like, our spot damage in this deck so far is the Brobnar Fire Breaths, and maybe was there a Gargantua Scrapper in here? I thought there was. Yeah, maybe the Gargantua Scrapper. So Unsuspecting Prey is going to help with that. Gebuk is a 5-power beast with Destroyed. Discard the top card of your deck. If it's a creature, after Gebuk leaves play, put that creature into play in Gebuk's position in the battle line. And I think there's enough creatures in here. We probably get value out of that. I don't love Gebuk, but in this deck it's probably fine. Grasping Vines is an action with a bonus aember that returns up to 3 artifacts to their owner's hands. That's good, along with the Rustgnawer. That's pretty decent artifact control we got going on. 2 Grasping Vines. That's great artifact control now. Wow. Oh my gosh, 3 Grasping Vines. And with the Kirby and the Vals, we can possibly use the Grasping Vines on our Star Alliance and Brobnar turns. That could be brutal against artifact decks, and against non-artifact decks, that's at least, get the bonus aember, so it's fine. And then lastly, we have the Feathered Shaman, which is a 2-power human witch with elusive, and Fight Reap ward each of the Feathered Shaman's neighbors. That's good. That's especially nice with the, this could make the Unnatural Selection work okay. Interesting. So I feel like, like is often the case in Worlds Collide, the Untamed is the house that's really letting me down here. But it's not terrible. And the 3 Grasping Vines is awesome. I'm really happy about the 2 Vals, and I think there's a chance we just don't go Untamed very much, right? We try to play through our Untamed cards on our Brobnar and Star Alliance turns. Most of them are actions anyway, so we're kind of burning through those. Meanwhile, we're taking Star Alliance and Brobnar turns to control the board and generate Amber and get a win. Yeah, that's interesting and fun. Any 2 Val deck is going to be fun at the very least. And I think this has potential. I am a little slightly sad not to see like a Chan or Tabor in Star Alliance so that I could use those Brobnar creatures on the Star Alliance turns, but I still think it's pretty good to get to play things out so much. Yeah, so that was Ken, Dark Hell Ringleader. Hope you enjoyed it and that you'll get out there and forge some keys.